the excitement bubbling inside me when my friend, Sarah, invited me to a sleepover at her house. Her parents were away for the weekend, leaving us with the entire house to ourselves. We planned on watching movies, snacking on junk food, and gossiping until the early hours of the morning. Little did I know, the night would take a terrifying turn. As the night grew darker, I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that settled over me. Sarah's house, usually warm and inviting, now felt strangely cold and foreboding. Every creak of the floorboards and every whisper of the wind outside sent shivers down my spine. When it was finally time to sleep, I found it difficult to drift off. As I lay in the darkness, my eyes fixed on the ceiling, I heard strange noises coming from the empty rooms of the house. Footsteps echoed down the hallway, and faint whispers brushed against my ears, sending a chill down my spine. Unable to bear the eerie atmosphere any longer, I decided to investigate the source of the strange occurrences. Creeping out of bed, I tiptoed down the hallway, my heart pounding in my chest. As I reached the living room, I froze in terror at the sight before me, a translucent figure, its eyes hollow and empty, staring back at me. In that moment, I realized that Sarah's house was haunted by a restless soul, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. As the ghostly figure drew closer, its presence suffocating, I knew I had to find a way to help it find peace, or risk being consumed by its despair forever. With trembling hands, I searched through Sarah's belongings until I found an old diary hidden away in the attic. As I flipped through its pages, I uncovered the tragic story of the restless soul, a young girl who had met a gruesome end in the very house we now occupied. Armed with this knowledge, I vowed to help her find peace. Gathering all my courage, I confronted the ghostly apparition once more, offering her the closure she so desperately sought. As I read aloud the final words of the diary, a sense of calm washed over the room, and the restless soul faded away into the darkness, leaving behind an eerie silence in its wake. Despite the ghost's departure, an unsettling feeling lingered in the air. Sarah and I exchanged nervous glances, silently acknowledging the horrors we had witnessed. As the first light of dawn began to filter through the windows, we made a pact never to speak of that night again, burying the memory deep within the recesses of our minds.